Hey gang, so I'm making a short film. I'm going to make a romantic comedy because you can do them on quite a small budget, which is helpful because I have a very small budget, which also means I'm going to be doing the job of the entire crew, and I've also cast myself in the main role. There is a lot to do, so let's get going. So I'm just going to talk you through the makeup that I'm going to do for the film. So we're not doing any super theatrical makeup or anything. As I say, it's just a rom-com. I don't need to do some sort of strange theatrical sci-fi makeup and make myself look like an alien or other mythical creature or something. Just going with the basics here. Now, I don't normally wear a lot of makeup. I don't often wear makeup in my videos. I sometimes just wear a bit of mascara or something. But if I was going to work or going on a date or something like that, I would put makeup on. Now, most of this film, Jocelyn is going to be coming to and from work or on a date, so it does seem logical that she would have makeup on. The men in the film aren't going to have makeup. If you want to wear makeup, just absolutely crack on, guys. I just could not care less who wears makeup and who doesn't. Live your life. But the men in this film don't want to wear any makeup, and that's absolutely fine, so they won't be wearing any. But this is what I'm going to be using. So to start off with, obviously I need to take off my glasses so I don't get makeup all over them. And of course I look mental because whenever you see somebody in glasses and then you see them without glasses, you're just like, how weird does that person look? And even though this is my face, I also am very confused at how I look without glasses. Just a heads up that without my glasses I can't see beyond about here. So once I take them off, I basically can't see the camera, and so I will spend the entire of the next section squinting in desperate attempt to check that my camera is actually recording. I've just washed my face, so yeah. Pretty basic first step, guys. We're not getting into anything super technical today. And then I'm just going to put on an SPF. So I'm just using an SPF moisturiser here. All the filming will be done inside, but I will be going outside at some point in the day, so it's important to be protected against the sun. So there's my face all moisturised. So I don't use anything like a primer or anything. I basically just use the moisturiser as a sort of primer type thing. I don't know whether that's what you're supposed to do, but it seems to be working, so I'm just going to stick with that. Then I'm using a foundation. This also has an SPF in it. I'm going to be very prepared for this sunshine, which isn't coming out that much in North Yorkshire, but who knows. I'm prepared for if it does decide to come out. I am using Rimmel Match Perfection, which is cruelty free. Very exciting. I think everything I'm using is cruelty free today. I do try and make sure everything I buy is cruelty free because there's absolutely no reason why any bunnies should be harmed as part of this filmmaking process. So I'm just going to put this on now. I don't use a beauty blender or anything. I just use my fingers. I've pretty much been doing my makeup the same way since I was like in my teens, and I don't think beauty blenders were even a thing then. If they were, it had passed me by. So yeah, I'm just going to try and evenly smooth this all over my face. Ta-da! And then I'm just going to put on a little bit of blush. I didn't used to use blush. I have issues with anxiety, and I've previously been teased quite a lot about the fact that my face glows quite red if I get stressed out, and then people mock me for being embarrassed, which ironically is the main thing I am embarrassed about. What a strange world full of people who are unnecessarily mean. Not you guys, you're all lovely, but yeah, I realised after a while I was starting to look like a ghost because I just constantly covering myself in ivory coloured foundation to try and cover up the red, to try and look like an actual alive human being. I've started using blush. So this is Makeup Academy in Razzelberry. Goodness, how exciting does that sound? It's absolutely not overselling it at all. This is very razzle dazzle. You absolutely do not need a lot of this stuff. Have you seen the colour there? That is the colour it is. It is super pigmented. You need the tiniest amounts. I'm just going to put a little bit on here and hopefully won't suddenly transform from ghost to clown. Ta-da! Now we will tone down that a little bit with the powder. So I'm using a pressed powder here. Again, I think it's quite a light shade. Let's see what this says. Ivory. So yes, basically white, not actual ivory. Again, we're not trying to harm any animals during this process. I think this is quite a old-fashioned thing to use. I think people use setting powder and things now. I tried to use a setting powder, but it was bright white, and again, just looked a little bit more like a ghost than I really want to look. Get some of this on. Yes, that's just to tone down any extra shine that was going on. I do find with SPF creams as well, you do tend to get a little bit extra shine. I mean, it's worth it because who wants to be sunburned or, you know, any other worse skin conditions. Now, I'm not going to do anything else fancy. I don't do brows at all. I mean, I grew up in the 2000s, like that was sort of my coming of age, and everyone just seemed to like tweeze their life out of their eyebrows. I didn't go in for that at all. I didn't understand it. And now everyone's super into the bushy eyebrows and just colouring them all in. Again, not for me. You do what you want, guys, but I'm just sort of pretty much leave my eyebrows to themselves, just occasionally tidy them up. Works for me. I also don't wear any sort of lip products. Occasionally I might wear a little bit of lip balm, but that's about it. I don't really like the feel of it on my lips. It's just a tactile thing for me. But I do quite like doing a bit of eye makeup. I am just going to stick to mascara here. I'm just going to get that on and then I'll explain why we're not doing anything more than that. Please excuse my face while I do this because it seems impossible, personally, to put mascara on without pulling weird faces. Anyone else? So I do like a bit of mascara. I think it opens my eyes up, and if I'm looking a bit sleepy I will just sometimes put a bit of mascara on just to make myself look a little bit more awake. And so that's it really. I'll get the glasses back on so I can see what's going on. Ta-da! It's not much different really. It's basically just a case of evening out my skin tone and then brightening myself up, making myself a little bit more awake looking. So as I said, I would normally do a little bit more eye makeup if I was going out or something. I do quite like to play around with like eyeliner and eyeshadow. Now there are a couple of reasons I'm not doing that. Firstly, I don't think Jocelyn's the type of person that wears a lot of makeup. She's someone that's quite outgoing in terms of fashion, wears quite bright coloured things, but she doesn't tend to be a big makeup user. I mean, I've made this character up, so I've basically made her like that, but in my eyes, she's not someone who goes in for a lot of makeup. Also, I'm not the best with eye makeup. I find it difficult enough to make one eye look like the other eye, so the idea that for continuity I would then have to replicate the eye look between scenes, it's not going to happen, and I really don't need any other stresses in the midst of trying to make a film, so I'm just going to go with the basics. In terms of hairstyle, I've stuck with one hairstyle for the entire of the film, which is this. I did consider doing different hairstyles for the dates and then for when Jocelyn's coming to and from work, but my worry with that was that I was already dealing with quite a lot because I was basically just doing the job of the entire crew, and I was worried that if I made things any more complicated I was really going to start getting a bit stressed and like losing track of what was going on, so I just stuck with one hairstyle. I did grow my hair out a bit for this role. It was a bit longer than I'm comfortable with, if I'm honest, but I felt like Jocelyn was somebody who would have slightly longer hair. And then literally the day after I finalised all the edits and was like, there's absolutely no reshoots needed, I chopped all my hair off. It was driving me completely insane. So again, Miss Jones, who never seems to get a day away from the chaos, was handed some shears and told to comb my hair. Yeah. So this is Jocelyn's outfit for going on a date with Eric, where she's dressed up as a bumblebee. I just have to mend it slightly because I tried it on and had to cut myself out of it. I know. Obviously, in a perfect world, if she was dressed up as a bumblebee, you would probably have like antennae and wings, but the plan here is that she's like been to work and realised no one else was dressed up for Halloween, and then she ended up going on a date afterwards because she didn't have time to go home and get changed. So I feel like you would have probably at least got rid of the wings and the antennae to look slightly more normal. I mean, this doesn't really look normal. I've also got some yellow Converse to try and match the situation. Not normally one for matching outfits, but although I do have unicorn socks on, which just do not match anything, but I feel like Jocelyn's the kind of lady who'd wear unicorn socks, so I'm sure we're fine. Then this is my outfit for my date with Chad. Quite a cute little dress with like loads of fun little creatures and things on it. And of course, pockets, because what do all women want in life? Pockets. And this is my outfit for the day where I get stood up. It's quite cute. Changed from the dungarees and just some Converse again. I don't think they're actually going to be in the shop, but I felt a bit silly wearing just like slippers or something. For the fourth and final date, I'm wearing my absolute favourite item of clothing, which is these space print dungarees. They are just so cute, so exciting, and so comfortable. I chose to wear this outfit for the final day because the final day is the most successful one, it's the best one, so I thought I'll wear the best outfit just generally to give the whole scene like a good fun vibe. Whether or not this works is another matter, but at least I got to wear my super comfy fun dungarees any excuse I can get. Then we have some scenes where Jocelyn is coming to and from work. I did forget to take pictures of these, so you're going to have to deal with stills. I'm basically just wearing what I would normally wear to work, which is black trousers, a grey cardigan and a varying degree of tops underneath. Yeah, the only problem with the screenshots is that I do have a resting bitch face and it doesn't come across well in pictures at all. I have many a picture from family occasions where someone has just taken a picture without me knowing and I'm just sat there like, I can't help it, it's just what my face does. Anyone else? I can't be the only one. So for the final outfit, Jocelyn's just going to be sat at home in her pyjamas, so super relaxed filming outfit here. Just some pyjama bottoms, and then I've just got this cardigan on because I think it looks quite cosy and cute, and even some slippers. I don't know if they'll turn up in the shop, but why waste the opportunity to lounge around in pyjamas and slippers? So that's all the outfits I'm going to be wearing in the part of Jocelyn in the film, but we also have the lovely Mr. Jones to dress. Now he did plan on taking some pictures, but he seemed so keen to get back into his regular clothing once we were done filming that like by the time I'd actually turned around and gone, oh, should we take a picture? He was already back in his normal clothes. Like Superman or something. You know when Superman like goes into the like telephone box, spins around and he's like, ta-da! Like that. There are 3 outfits that he's going to be wearing. We have this one, which is basically just a hoodie. He did have some joggers on with it. I just want him generally to look as scruffy as possible. Just quite an easy demand really, just to rock a look in a mess, which is difficult because he's so beautiful. Anyway, enough of me fangirling over my husband. Then he had to play the role of Chad, who is a sort of incel type character. I wasn't really sure what they're supposed to wear, to be honest. Who knows? I went with this double denim vibe where he had some jeans and a denim jacket, which I got off Vinted because I am on quite a low budget with this film. Turned out quite well, and for some reason he put this hat on. I didn't ask him to put a hat on, but he decided to style himself and he thought that Chad was definitely the kind of guy that wore a hat. I don't know, I think he was going method, but it didn't really work out that well for him because it was quite a warm day, and he then just started complaining to me that his head was too warm, as if I'd suggested the hat. Then finally we have Archie. I've just kept this quite simple. He's wearing jeans and a black polo shirt for this. I think he looks quite cute, but I do always think my husband looks quite cute. But yeah, I think this is quite nice. It's just quite a like cool casual type thing that a man might wear when he's out and about. And I think the whole vibe of this outfit just kind of makes him look a bit more open and friendly. So that's all the costumes done. So that's all the glamorous side of the filmmaking done. Plenty of not glamorous things yet to do. For instance, sound. Man, do I hate trying to record sound. It is the bane of my existence at the moment, but I'm persevering. So yes, plenty of filmmaking action still to come, so do make sure to subscribe to be up to date about all things filmmaking and animation, and I will see you all again really soon. Bye!